Good morning. Welcome to the Newfoundland Outsider. I can't get into my cabin on snowmobile because there's too many bare spots, and I can't get into my cabin on ATV because there's too much deep snow and the snow is soft. So today we're going to try to get in on an e-bike. The first part is going to be gravel and muddy, and the second part is going to be deep soft snow. So I'm hoping to get over it on my e-bike. We'll get as far as we can. We'll have to walk the rest of the way, but I like to get right to the cabin. So today I want to go into the cabin. I want to start taking out the ceiling. I want to take all the old paper and insulation out, and I got the proper stuff to go in, so then I can put my boards over top. So I'm back on the Himiway Zebra bike today, the e-bike. So the Himiway e-bike I got here got a 500 watt motor, which is like a 3/4 horsepower. It's got a 20 amp Panasonic battery. So we're going to give it a good test today, because not all the time we're on a nice flat highway on a sunny summer day. Most of the days I do this kind of work. It's 1 degree, it's windy. So a young moose walked up here this morning. Okay, well today I'm riding the bike at level 2. On e-bikes, usually you got 1 to 5. 1 meaning you got the least amount of electrical help, so you got to paddle more, and 5 meaning you got the most amount of electrical help, so you have to paddle hardly at all. So today I'm running mine at number 2. So when you look up electrical bikes and you look up the specs, it's going to have a number there, like the one I got today, Himiway. Got the Zebra model. It's got a range of 60 to 80 miles. What does that mean? Well, on a nice flat surface like the pavement, no hills, and a temperature between 60 and 80 degrees where the battery is at its peak performance. So that's 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 16 to 27 Celsius. That's when the battery's at its peak. Not today. So today we got 1 degree or 33 degrees Fahrenheit. We got a bunch of mud, lots of gravel. I've been spinning in the snow. And for the next 7 kilometers, we got all snow. So we'll see if we can get through that. Whew. big bull came down through my path. Big animal. You can tell it's a bull by the dew cloth right there. Oh, it's a nice animal too. Well, we're doing pretty good. We're nearly at the cabin. I'll show you my battery indicator. It's got 3 bars left out of 5. Now I didn't come straight in. We did over 20 kilometers this morning. I got to go back and forth with the camera and the drone and things. Yeah, that took 2 bars. And the cabin is just through them trees there. Well, everything looks good. Okay, well, we made it in there. It's around 0 degrees still. I used 2 bars, but I'm going to be in there most of the day working on the cabin. We're going to go tonight. But at 0 degrees, if I leave the bike out by the door, the cold's going to kill the battery. So I think I'll bring it inside and keep it warm. So today we're going to try and take some of the paper and insulation out of the ceiling and start getting it ready for the new insulation and the wood I got. But first we're going to have homemade beans today for supper, and we're going to have fried bread, which we call toutons. So last night I soaked the beans overnight, which you're supposed to do. I'll show you that on the recipe. And now I'm going to prepare the rest of the beans because they got to bake for 7 hours while I'm here today, and we'll have them for supper. So this is the beans we use here in Newfoundland. They're a Thompson's brand. They're a white pea bean. And this is 454 gram pack, or 1 pound. And on the back, you see here, and on the back the recipe is spelled out for you, how to do it for Thompson beans. If you don't got Thompson's, I'll put all that recipe in the description below. So last night I took some of the beans. I didn't quite use a pound. They had to soak overnight in water. And this is the difference the next day between the soaked bean and a regular bean. Then after you soak them overnight, you have to bake them for 7 hours, is what we're going to do right now before we start our work. So you need your beans that are soaked overnight. We need wieners because we're having beans and wieners. You need onion, you need some brown sugar, some vinegar, mustard, ketchup, and I use hot sauce in mine. I got barbecue sauce and hot sauce half and half in there to make it a bit spicy. So I'm using Fancy Molasses by Crosby's. That's you can put more molasses in them if you want them really dark, or less if you want them light. And then you put some hot water in just to cover. Now some people like their beans really thick. I don't. I like a lot of juice in my beans so I can dip my bread in after. Now we put that in the oven for 6 or 7 hours. Then you'll have homemade baked beans and wieners. Okay, don't forget your brown sugar. And you want a little bit of salt. Now for this you need a nice crock pot or a bean pot. I don't got one in here. I don't even got a roaster in there actually. So we're gonna make do with this. Well, today I got a fancy pot that my sister Melody sent me. So I'm definitely going to try that. And we're going to make some chaga tea. So chaga is a fungus that grows on birch trees. And it's very good for you. It's a great antioxidant and great for arthritis. But you don't want to boil chaga. You just want to boil the water, let it cool down for a while. And then put it in like that. Eventually the chaga will sink to the bottom and it'll start getting darker. So I'm going to lay plastic up in the bunks so that when I take the insulation down, all the dirt won't fall on the bidding. Keep it a little cleaner. But I think I'm going to take all the paper and all the insulation, even on the gable ends. I'm going to take all that down because I don't know what's under there. And I'm going to start over. I'll leave the insulation in the eaves right now. Because I'm going to have to get blocks of wood and some wire mesh so the squirrels won't get in. Let's check and see how our beans are doing. Wow. Ooh. Doing nice. This is the problem with having insulation in a cathedral ceiling. Rat poop. Tons of it. That's why it's all got to come down. Well, spring is in full force and all the house flies are coming out. So I'm going to put up some of these sticky fly catchers. Take a break from the insulation. And I'll put up a couple trail cams. See if we can get a picture of that big bull moose that's hanging around here. That's a nice bull that walked by here. I think this must be the earliest spring break I've ever seen. Started about a week ago, off and on. Now we're just into the 1st of April. And all the ponds are nearly melted already. It makes a big difference in the wildlife. The moose have their young so early. By the time the fall comes, they're literally as big as their mom. A lot of the insulation is wet because it's pressed up against the tin roof, and the tin roof is sweating. So now I'm going to check my beans. I'm going to have a cup of chaga and relax for a bit. It is 5 to 1 right now. I got up this morning at 5:45. I've been going non-stop. So let's have a cup of chaga and a little snack. Then I'll have time to take this side down today. And I'll have to finish the rest next time. I was hoping to get further, but that's okay. I want to do a good job. Oh, so now we're going to check the beans. Ooh, they're looking good. And it smells good too. I like to put a hole in the center of mine so the center is guaranteed to be cooked all the way through. Now I don't think these are quite done because it needs another hour or so, but I'm running out of time. I gotta go home because I gotta work tomorrow. And our toutons, fried dough. Of course we have molasses over our fried dough here. And don't forget, kids, eat your veggies. There you go. Here's your veggies. Really good. They're a little hard, tiny bit hard, but they taste excellent. Okay, well, that's it for another trip. We got 3 bars left on our bike. I hope we can get home with it. The snow is much softer now, the sun is out. So it might be a little harder slogging going home. Ooh, she's soft. The snow is so soft I can't get through it. I'm gonna let the air pressure out of my tires, see if it helps out. Only problem with letting all the air out of your tires, it's harder on the battery. Whoa. Nope. That didn't help. I'll get out to the main road. It might be better out there. Whew. Whew. Well, the snow is so soft, I can't get through it with the bike. Too much slipping and sliding. I go 100 meters and you wipe out. Well, the snow is very soft. I can't go more than 100 meters or you wipe out. I got another 3 kilometers and I'll make it to the gravel portion. Then I got 12 kilometers after that. Woohoo! I made it back to the gravel. Well, I'm on the road, but it's so mucky you can barely move. And I got 1 bar on my battery. So I'm walking the hills. Yeah. Well, we made it back. Whew, that was a slog. So today we did just over 43 kilometers. I'm not sure what that is in miles, like 25 miles. There's 1 bar left on the battery, but it's been showing a bar for the last kilometer. But I've pretty much been pedaling on my own for the last kilometer. There's no electrical assist there at all now. So for those of you that want to know how far an e-bike can go when you're hunting and fishing, well, this morning we started off at 0 degrees, hard packed snow and windy, so that was hard on the battery. When we came back, it was 8 degrees, the sun was out, the snow was very soft, you can barely get through it, the tires were steady spinning. Then I got through the gravel and it was just as bad. It was so mucky you can barely turn your tires. So anyway, that is a very realistic test of what an e-bike can do. So thanks for coming along today. Appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.